Question 10 starts with the solving part of our test. So this is a two-step equation, and if you remember back to when we did this, we talked about how do you undo operations. So basically, I know that this is going to be equal to 15, and I have to work backwards to figure out, all right, what's x going to be? Well, the two operations that are happening here is I'm minusing 3, so to undo that, you're going to, at some point, have to add 3. And then we're also taking x and multiplying it by 2. And the inverse operation for multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So those are the two operations that I have to perform. Before I go through and start doing that, I'm going to start just by drawing a line through my equal sign to separate the left and the right side. So when I do this, like for the first inverse operation I'm going to perform is this plus 3. So underneath minus 3, I'm just going to write plus 3. Because minus 3 and plus 3 cancel each other out. Okay, but whatever I do on one side of my equation, I got to do in the other to keep it in balance. So I'm going to add 3 to this side. So what am I left with? I'm left with 2x on the left side and 18 on the right side. So there's my first step. The second step is I have to undo times 2. So to do that, I'm going to divide by 2. So I'm going to divide the left side by 2, and x times 2 divided by 2, you're just left with x. But whatever I do on one side, I got to do on the other. And on the right side, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So x equals 9 is my answer. Okay? But if you remember, that's not the end of my process. The end of the process is proving that it's the right answer. So I'm going to take this original equation, and I'm going to rewrite it. But instead of saying 2 times x, I'm going to replace x with 9. So 2 times 9 minus 3 is equal to 15. And I got to see, does that work? Well, let's just work out the left side. 2 times 9 is 18. And 18 minus 3 is 15. What do you know? I get 15 equals 15. Those two are equal to each other, which means that my answer of x equals 9 is correct. So when you're proving your answers, you should always end up, if you have the right solution, you should always end up with two constants that are equal to each other. And if they aren't, you should go back to the beginning of the problem and see if you can identify where your mistake is. So if you got this one wrong, go ahead and give those 3 a try. And the correct answers for them are k equals 2, m equals -6, and v equals 16.